Hello and welcome to the last video that you will see of me wearing this shirt because I'm filming 3 videos today. So this video is something a little bit different than what I normally put out, which is TBRs and wrap-ups and opening up an owl crate once a month. This video is 5 books that my boyfriend would just like me to fucking read already. I am constantly swimming in a sea of books that I want to read and books that are recommended to me, and then off to the side is this never-ending pile of books that my boyfriend reads and then desperately wants me to read immediately so that we can talk about them. And there's been a couple of books that I have read, the first in a series, or maybe he's talked about, and I put them on my TBR and never actually picked them up. So here are his top 5 picks for me to read already. The first book on his list is actually a follow-up book to American Gods by Neil Gaiman, and it is Anansi Boys by Neil Gaiman, and this is the story of one of the characters in the book called Mr. Nancy and his life, essentially. So I'm curious about this. Is this something that I'm gonna pick up right away? Maybe not. American Gods was heavy material, and it dealt with a lot of like symbols and a lot of content that, you know, could be kind of triggering for some people. So for me, this isn't necessarily something that I'm going to pick up like tomorrow, but it is on my list of things to read. So because Mr. Nancy is one of the most fascinating characters in the story, and he doesn't really get a whole lot of exploration other than the fact that he is himself a storyteller and a weaver of tales. And his symbol is the spider, which makes sense because you weave a web of tales. So I'm intrigued by this, but it's not my #1 priority. The next book has been on my list since last year. It is Dreadnought by Sherry Priest. This is the second book in the, I think it's called the Clockwork Century series. The first book was Bone Shaker, which ironically, I think I actually read Bone Shaker for the last OWLs, or maybe I read it for the Magical Readathon at Christmas. I don't remember. I read it for some readathon. And this is the second book in that series. The first book was awesome. I had a blast reading about an alternate Seattle where there was zombies and this super poisonous gas that was basically turning the city into zombies and burning people's flesh off. And the people that remained in the city became these steampunk style warriors that kind of had to figure out a way of living underground, and the people outside of the city had no idea this was happening. So this is the second book in that series, and I believe the Dreadnought is actually a train that turns into this thing. So this is one that I actually have wanted to read, but I keep forgetting that it exists in favor of the other 10,000 million books that are on my TBR. So this one is one that I will probably pick up sooner rather than later. The next book on this list, I don't know why it's here. I genuinely don't. I think he wants to punish me because my #1 fear in this life is the Greys, which are an intelligent species of alien that most often are depicted as coming to Earth to abduct us and do whatever they want with our brains and our butts. And I'm just not here for it, okay? It scares the ever-living shit out of me. And this book, The Forever War by Joe Haldeman, I'm pretty sure is a freaking alien war story. Yeah, okay, the Earth's leaders have drawn a line in the interstellar sand. Despite the fact that the fierce alien enemy they would oppose is inscrutable, unconquerable, and very far away. Like, bitch, I don't care they got traveling. So I think this book is a punishment for me because I don't read sci-fi because what if an alien pops up? So I think this book is literally on here to give me nightmares because my boyfriend is a sadist, I feel like. Probably won't be reading that anytime soon. Just gonna say it out loud. I hope you watch this, Michael. The next book on my list is One that I tried reading when I was 17, and now I'm 28. So it's a lot later. Actually, when did this even come out? Hold on. 2010. So actually I would have been 18, right? Yeah. So I was 18 when I first tried reading this, and I put it down because I was like, wow, that's hard. And now I'm 28, so it's 10 years later, and my boyfriend just magically happened to read and love this entire series, and he wants me to read the entire series as well. This is Ex-Heroes by Peter Klein, and this is, I believe this is almost what this kind of feels like to me, is Renegades but grown up. It's the story of these heroes, quote unquote, and they use their superhuman abilities to make Los Angeles a better place. Then the plague of living death spread around the globe, billions died, civilization fell, and the city of angels was left a desolate zombie wasteland. So now they're not really heroes anymore because they didn't stop the inevitable end of death coming for them. So I really don't know much more about this beyond that, but honestly, 10 years later, this sounds a lot better than it did when I was 18. When I was 18, I just wanted to read, because I hadn't met Michael yet. So when I was 18, I was single and alone and sad. I had just moved out of my parents' house. I had just dropped out of college. Y'all, I just wanted to read stories about love and like magical fairy tale lands that would rescue me from my bleak one-bedroom apartment existence. Now, though, this seems pretty good. Is this one that I'm going to run and read right away? Perhaps, honestly. It actually sounds pretty intriguing. The tagline for this is from Ernest Klein, who wrote Ready Player One, which I am a fan of, and it says, "The Avengers meets The Walking Dead with a large order of epics served on the side." I loved it, and that sounds like a meme to me, so why not? The last book on this list is actually a Hugo Award winner, and it is, in my opinion, extremely heavy science fiction. And it is a book that actually I have purchased like 2 other editions of this for him, for his collection. And it is The Wind-Up Girl by Paolo Bacigalupi. I think that's how you say his name. And this is a book about a girl that's not actually a human. She's engineered. And they're called New People. New people are slaves, soldiers, and toys of the rich in a chilling near future in which calorie companies rule the world, the oil age has passed, and the side effects of bioengineered plagues run rampant across the globe. Doesn't that sound slightly relevant to our current state of existence? So this is definitely not one that I'm going to read right now because I'm constantly in a state of fear right now. But it is one that I feel is culturally relevant and one that I think I probably should read because this is one of those books that I think you read it once in your life and then it just makes an impact on you. I just have that sense that this is going to be one of those books that hits pretty close to home in terms of a lot of the things that are happening in the world right now and the parallels that this draws to it, even though this was written a while ago. I think this was actually written, God, this is like 2-point font. This was written in 2009. So a little over 10 years ago, but about things that are kind of relevant right now. So a little scary, but Hugo and Nebula award winning, which means good content. I just thought this would be a fun video to do where I told my boyfriend, he was literally laying on the couch and I was like, pick out 5 books that you want me to fucking read. And he goes, what? And I was like, 5 books that you've been wanting me to read that I haven't read. Do it, because then if I make a video about it, people know that I'm supposed to read these damn books, and then maybe eventually I will read them. So these are the 5, you know? Am I going to read them right away? Hell no. I have a TBR for March that's the size of, like, the Empire State Building. But, you know, eventually I will get to them. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was kind of an interesting video, because it's recommending a lot of books that I don't really see on BookTube a lot, and maybe once I do read them, I can talk about them and maybe somebody will care. So I will see you guys in my next video, which will probably be my wrap-up video because by the time this goes up, the month will be over. Where did March go? I'm only halfway through my TBR, so I'm gonna go read now. I've been filming for about 2 hours, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!